Hey everybody, it's late night. Thought I'd do a podcast. Got a little busy earlier, but I wanted to get this content out. Uh, so how's everybody doing out here in podcast land? I got some information for you today to just keep you up to date on certain things. And some stuff that they're not really talking about. But first, I want to thank my sponsors, both of them today. People of Color Beauty, ran by Jackie Carrington, based in Los Angeles. Great nail polish. The women love it. Bright and vibrant colors. You can go to her website, peopleofcolor.com, peopleofcolorbeauty.com, and look at everything you need to. And also Compass timepieces, high-end watch, born in America, made in Switzerland. Classy watch, man. It's, pretty nice. Has different styles. It has the skeleton look. It has different brands, but that skeleton look is nice. If you go on the website, compass.com, you can see everything that you need to see. But as far as our podcast goes, I'm gonna talk about some NFL, a little bit of baseball real quick. It's not going to be long. I'm only going to talk about one team today. And then we're going to also go over some quarterbacks that are in the draft coming up this year, 2026, that are supposed to be good. And we'll do that first. So basically, you have several high-end quarterbacks that people are looking at right now. They're supposed to be the best ones. And we have basically three of them, actually four. The first one is Cade Klubnik from Clemson. Said he's a really good player. He leads the class. Then you have Lenore Sellers, who I've been talking about, South Carolina. And then you have Garrett Nesmer out of LSU. And the LSU quarterbacks always seem to be pretty good. And then, of course, you had the ballyhooed sophomore, Arch Manning. So those are the four main ones. But I think somebody else will jump up there. You never know until the season starts, until college football season starts. And you'll start to hear more about other quarterbacks. And then, of course, the same routine every year, the combine, things like that. But these four are the ones that everybody's talking about right now in the scouting circles. Arch Manning is not even sure that he's going to come out. And they say with the family history, he probably won't. They usually stay the whole 4 years. Peyton stayed 4 years at Tennessee. Eli stayed 4 at Ole Miss. I don't know what the dad did, Archie Manning did back in the day, but they like to stay in college. And now with the NIL, there's really no reason, if you have a lucrative contract with NIL, for you to rush out into the league. Especially if you're playing well, because you're going to go in a good spot, and you're taking injury into, but I think development is always better. So, and I think that's why I don't think Arch Manning will come out either. He's only going to be a sophomore. And like I said on the other podcast, he barely started. He didn't play that much. He did play, but he didn't start every game. But those four right there are the names that everyone's talking about. And then you have some NFL news. Aaron Rodgers, as we know by now, that he signed, and if you don't know, he flew into Pittsburgh Friday, signed his contract. They said he signed it overnight. They sent it to where he was at through fax. Him and his agent and everybody, his team went over it, signed it, sent it back. And then he flew to Pittsburgh. Friday morning. They said he got into Pittsburgh around 8 o'clock and met with the general manager, Omar Khan. and the rest of the staff, Tomlin and the OC and the owners, of course, and there'll probably be some type of press conference. And he's getting a lot of publicity nationally right now. As usual, the national pundits are basically saying he's going to do all right. Some are saying he's washed. I don't think that's the case. He has a big arm. He still can throw it. They said he still has snap, and he plays with his mind. So he's like one of the best ever to do it for the line of scrimmage when they come out that huddle. And if you're defense, he reads defenses great pre-snap. So basically, he'll change it up on you. And he's done it a lot throughout his career, and that's what made him so great. He'll get to the line of scrimmage, and if he doesn't see what he likes, he'll change it. He'll get everybody in a position. He's the king of using the clock to get people in position. He just don't run plays to run plays. He's very smart when it comes to that. So I think that's needed, and I think that'll get him through. Plus Pittsburgh's running game. People are talking about that line, but that line has great pedigree, and it's Salomon, this will be his third season. He's a vet. Broderick, this will be his third season, but he's moving to left tackle. The rookie from last year, Fahatu, is back. He was injured in the first game against Denver last year, and he's at right tackle. And then you have Zach Frazier, really good center. He's Pro Bowl type caliber, So I think they'll be fine, and they'll run the ball. You got Jalen Warren, who'll probably start. You got the first round. You got not the first round draft pick, but the third pick, the first running back selected by Pittsburgh. Since Najee Harris, Caleb Johnson out of Iowa, who has speed. He's a big back, but he has speed. He has great vision, and he'll probably unseat Jalen Warren before the season's over. They said he just needs to get his pass blocking a little better, and he'll be fine. And then you got the guy out of Philadelphia who backed up Saquon last year, who signed with Pittsburgh as a free agent. So their backfield is pretty good. And of course you got DK, and so they got some, and they're going to sign a number 2. They're looking now. They say Omar Khan is on the phone damn near every day, looking for that number 2 receiver. They already had Gabe Davis in for a meeting. He's coming out of Jacksonville. Those in Kansas City remember him when he played for Buffalo. He scored those 4 touchdowns in late in the fourth quarter. So he's a pretty good receiver. He's not DK Smith, but he'll be an adequate number 2. Then you got Amari Cooper, and there's one more. There's one more that they're looking at, but Amari Cooper and Gabe Davis for sure. The holdup with Gabe Davis because he did come to Pittsburgh for a meeting because he had a physical, and he's coming back from an injury, and they just want to make sure he's fine. So if he passed his physical, I could see them signing him, unless I don't know what the offer was price wise, but he doesn't have many suitors. The Niners and the Giants did take a look at him, but I can see him playing with the Giants, playing on the other side of neighbors. I can see that, but in San Francisco, I don't know. He might not play. He'll definitely be a backup. So I think Pittsburgh and New York are probably the ones that are going to battle it out for him, if anything. But he's pretty good. And then they're looking at Jonas Smith, the tight end that played for Atlanta and then signed a big deal with Miami and went to Miami. He's a free agent, and they said he wants to work a deal to stay in Miami. The weather's great, but I know he wants to play for a winner. Miami's not doing too good right now, so we got a shot at him. So I think that'll, and there's other tight ends out there, but I think he fits because he's a pass catching tight end. He can block also, but he can destroy your scene, and that gives them fire within him if they ever sign him. So I think that'll be big. That'll be big if they get those two signed, Gabe Davis and John Smith. You know, so um, other than that, they said Aaron signed a $13.65 million deal with $10 million guaranteed money. The total deal comes out to around 19.5 a year. So he took a low, like he said on Pat McAfee that time. He said, "I'll play for 10 million." So he down there did sign for 13. So you can tell he doesn't need the money. It's not about the money. He wants to play. He wants to play football. So this will probably be his last year. Now they're talking about if they play well, if he plays well, if Pittsburgh plays well, will he resign? He may, but he's going to want more money, you know. And whoever they draft, because they're going to draft a quarterback next year, they'll take one of the, and I'm hoping they get Lenore Sellers. But any of those four that I named, well, I say three because I don't think Arch is coming out. I don't think Arch Manning's coming out. But any of those three, that'll work, you know. So, but Lenore's Sellers fits what Pittsburgh wants to do. We're talking about 6'3", 240. He can run. He can pass. He's big, strong, presence in the pocket. So pay attention to him this season. South Carolina, University of South Carolina Gamecocks. That's who he plays for. So, and he's in the SEC, so their games will be on TV a lot. You'll get to see him play. As far as some bad news, man. Pac-Man Jones got arrested again in Cincinnati. He went to Covington, Kentucky, which is right across the river from Cincinnati. I've been there to see the Cincinnati Steelers game, and it's like Kansas. Those that live in Kansas City, Covington, Kentucky is just like Kansas City, Kansas is to Kansas City, Missouri. It's right across. You can actually see downtown Cincinnati from Covington. And a lot of times people stay on the Covington side because it's cheaper. Because I remember when we went down there for the game, for the Cincinnati game way back in the day, we stayed in Covington. The rooms were cheaper, and it was just a little drive across the bridge. So, but he was arrested. They said it was disorderly conduct, and supposedly he assaulted the police officer that was trying to deal with him. And now he has the assault on police officer charge, allegedly. So it's been he's been arrested several times since 2021. So he's still making the news, but not for a good thing, not for good reasons. As far as that goes, though, we'll see. We'll stand by and see what's going on. You know, Russell Wilson made the news today. Good stuff. Basically, they're saying that they approached him about mentoring the not just Dart, you know, the rookie that they drafted, but also the rest of the room. Jameis been in the league for a minute, but he could probably get some information from Russell that can help him be a better quarterback too. Even though Russell's not the same player, he is knowledgeable. And then DeVito's on the roster, and I think they're going to keep all four. So, but they want him to be a mentor, and he said he's fine with it. So it looks like when quarterbacks do that, you know, they're team guys. So, because a lot of quarterbacks, man, they don't like helping the other guy because they feel, hey, man, I'm putting in the work. I'm reading my playbook. I'm paying attention at meetings. You need to do the same thing. And that's as much as they tell them. But when you have a quarterback that's willing to help out the whole room and talk to the quarterbacks and help the quarterbacks along that are with him on the same team in the same quarterback room, you know, he wants to mentor them or ask to mentor them. He has no problem doing it. That's a good thing. So that's kudos to Russell. Uh, Nick Chubb, man. I like Nick Chubb. He just can't stay healthy. He keeps tearing up that one knee. Ever since college, he has a problem with that knee. I think he's tore it 3 times. I remember he did it in Georgia because he was in college. He was a bona fide superstar in Georgia, and he tore his knee up. And then he came to the league. They drafted him anyway, uh, having a big year in Cleveland, big couple years, and then in Cleveland, and then he tore his knee up again. And I think it's been twice in Cleveland this past season and the season before that. So he has problems. And that's probably why he's still lasting so long. But Dallas is looking at him. I mean, Houston, not Dallas, but Houston is basically said to be the ones that is going to sign him on Monday if his physical comes back good. And he'll be a good backup in Houston with Joe Mixon. But Nick Chubb, man, when he was at his best, hard to stop. And Pittsburgh had to do with him. I got to see him play a lot because Pittsburgh had to play against him twice a year when he was healthy. And he's hard to stop. He's a hard runner. Uh, he cuts. He has great vision. He's just explosive. But I mean, I don't know how it's going to be now. He said his rehab went really well. So hopefully that's good for him, man. I'm not a Houston fan, but I do like him. I'm a Nick Chubb fan, and I wish Pittsburgh had room for him, but we got 3 running backs, so I don't think there's room for him there. But yeah, so we'll see what he does in Houston if he passes his physical. And like I said, they already got Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon will probably get most of the touches, so he won't be asked to do what he had to do in Cleveland. But I can see him being a short yardage guy, spelling Mixon when needed. I can definitely see that. Definitely. Let's see here. Paul Schemes, man. 188 ERA, one of the best in the business. And they keep pulling him. They finally got a win against the Philadelphia Phillies, and he pitched a hell of a game. And I think he gave up 1 hit, but I guess he didn't have the amount of innings needed, so he didn't get to win. So a lot of people are making that news. They're talking about that because it's, but I don't know if that really bothers him. But the media believes that it is. They don't think it's fair because he got you that far into the game, and it wasn't for him. You lose, and then you take him out. And I know they're trying to save his arm because he's going to pitch a lot, and and he throws hard. But Paul Skeene, one of the best young pitchers in the league, and some say he might be like 1 or 2, maybe the top 3 pitchers in the league. He just doesn't play for a really good team. Pirates need some work. It's my favorite team, them and the Royals, but I'm a diehard Pirate fan first. But 1.88 ERA, man, that's big. He's not giving up anything. He's not giving up anything. So hopefully he gets to pitch 4 innings. And I'm not really knowledgeable about how many innings he needs. I'm ignorant to that fact, but I'm definitely going to find out. But, I think he just didn't have enough innings in, so he didn't get credit for the win. But when it was definitely his win, no doubt. Definitely his win. So they need to get that. But let's talk about tonight's game. Well, yesterday, it's late. OKC knocked off, well, I won't say knock off. They avenged that first game loss in the championship series in Oklahoma City. They beat the Pacers 123 to 107. And SGA, man, Alexander scored again. He's doing his thing. He had 34 points, and it was a different type 34. He had 38 the first night in the loss, but it was just a little different. And their defense showed up tonight, which I don't think it did the other night from watching the game. And they're really a really good defensive team. So, but it showed up tonight. And then Caruso, again, was the second leading scorer. He had 11 the first night. He had 20 tonight. So, they need, but now they got to go game 3. They have to go to Indiana and play them there. So we'll see what happens. But I think they got to get a game in Indiana. They have to. They don't want to go down. They got to get that win. They got to get that win. But let's talk about Pittsburgh. So I know here in Kansas City, and Kansas City looks good. They got that tackle. They said he's coming back from injury. He looks good. They said Andy Reid has kind of been holding him out, like in voluntary workouts, and but they said his movement and everything looks good. So it looks like they got a tackle, because that seems like been their problem the last couple seasons. But they got this kid who's pretty good. I'm pretty sure his last name is Smith. But he's pretty good. The Chiefs are the Chiefs, man. They're still loaded. I think Kelsey's getting old though, so they might want to look at that. But they still got Mahomes. They need a running back too, so they really do need a running back, and they probably can use a safety in a corner too. But they're the Chiefs, man. And I'm not a Chiefs fan, but they are pretty good, and they didn't lose much. Even though they did lose to Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, they're still the team to beat. I mean, Buffalo is probably their nemesis, but for some reason, during the regular season, Buffalo has the Chiefs' number, but when it's playoff time, the Chiefs got their number. So, so I don't know. But Josh Allen makes Buffalo go. So that's another team in the AFC that we need to worry about. And of course, the Ravens. So everybody's talking about the AFC North, and I'm going to tell you about this is what I think. So let's start with the AFC West. The AFC West, you got the Chiefs until somebody beats them. You got the Chargers, who are a lot better, and they got a really good coach with Jim Harbaugh. Then you have Denver with Sean Payton, and he did a great job with them last year. And that quarterback is pretty good. He's young, but he had a good season last year, and they let him manage him. And Payton's doing a good job with him. And then you have the Raiders. If it's the worst team in the league, worst team in the division, is most likely the Raiders. But I can see them getting better with Pete Carroll as their head coach, and also with the quarterback from Seattle coming over, Geno Smith, coming over there. But I don't know. They don't have much else. They got the tight end who's really good, and they got that defensive end who's really good. But they need more than that. So I say the Chiefs. I'm gonna say Denver 2, San Diego 3, and the Raiders 4th in that division. And hey, Denver almost beat the Chiefs. They should have won that game here. Guy missed the extra point. A field goal. He missed a field goal late in the game and would have put them up. They drove the whole length of the field, and All they had to do was put it through the uprights, and they would have stole the win down here in Kansas City. But he missed the field goal, so that's crazy. But they're pretty good. They are. They're really good. So, I mean, they're not. They're not championship level as of yet, but they're scary because the defense is really good. They're well coached by Sean Payton, and their offense is coming along. So, and then San Diego, as usual, Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach, and he has pieces out there. Um, he has his receivers are decent. His defense is decent. They signed Najee Harris from Pittsburgh in free agency, and they drafted Mario Hampton, the stud running back out of North Carolina. So see what happens with them. But so I think they could actually, if they can get wins off of, if they can get one win off of Kansas City and one off of Denver, that's going to make it close. So the AFC West, like I said, I say Kansas City until somebody beats them, which I think is possible with Denver and San Diego. I mean, I keep saying San Diego, but Denver and Los Angeles, the Chargers. So I'm still getting used to that. It's been a couple of years, but I'm still getting used to it. The AFC South, you got the Titans, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, you have the Indianapolis Colts, and you have the Houston Texans. So the Titans are not ready. They got the number 1 draft pick, the rookie Cam Ward. He's pretty good. He had a big year in his college last year, but they don't have much else. So they'll finish last. I think Houston will win the division again. I don't think there's nobody that can beat them in the division. People are talking about Jacksonville, but I can't see it. Then you have the Colts, or middle of the road, and then their quarterback that they had, the one that not Danny Dimes, but the Anthony Richardson. I don't know about him. So, right now I think Danny Dimes will start, and they'll go from there. So I think their quarterback play is suspect. Defense is okay. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then you have Tennessee. So I think it'll be Houston, Jacksonville, or Indianapolis. So let's just say this: I'll say Indy, Jacksonville 3rd, and the Titans 4th. I think that's how our division will finish, but we'll see. The AFC East, you got the Patriots, you got the Bills, you have the Dolphins, and who else? The Jets. Okay, so I don't think nobody's beating Buffalo. So I think Buffalo's just too good. They're one of the better teams in the AFC, one of the better teams in the league, period. So I think they'll win that division hands down. People are talking about New England. I still think they got work. They do have Mike Vrabel as a new head coach up there, and the quarterback is decent. He's young though, but he's not bad. And then you have the Jets, and you have the Dolphins. Well, the Dolphins, I think that coach needs to watch it because he's supposed to be this offensive guru, but they're not getting it done. They got Tyreek Hill. He actually wants out of there, but I don't know if that's going to happen. They can't lose him. And Tua, their quarterback's not bad. He's not bad, but he stays hurt. The Jets signed Justin Fields from Pittsburgh. Um, they paid him $40 million, and people wonder why Pittsburgh didn't pay him. Pittsburgh wasn't giving him $40 million. Look, they just gave uh, Aaron Rodgers 13.6 with guarantees, takes him up to what, 23? You think he was getting 40 from Pittsburgh? No. So Pittsburgh basically said, go ahead and walk, because they feel like, from what I'm hearing, they thought he needed more work. So they were going to draft a veteran and bring a veteran free agent like they did, and like they let him play behind him and keep learning, and then go from there. But he couldn't wait. So basically, uh, he's a Jet, and I think they'll struggle. They have a good coach. Aaron Glenn's really good. He's a defensive-minded coach. They got Sauce Gardner. Their corners are decent. They got a decent defense, and their offensive line is good too. So I don't know who plays in the running back for them, but you don't hear much. So I don't know about that. But this is how I think they'll finish. I think it'll be Buffalo, of course. I think here goes where it gets tough. Man, it's a toss-up. Trying to see. You got Buffalo, number one. I'm going to say New England. I'm going to say New England's going to sneak in the second. I could be wrong, but I'm going to see them coming in second place. Miami and the Jets will bring up third and fourth. So I think it'll be Miami third and the Jets fourth. That's what I think will happen. So I think that's going to be how it's going to work. Now let's talk about the AFC North. So the AFC North, one of the toughest divisions in football, always is. Just the teams are just hard nosed, and it's a tough division. And it seems like that division. It's just hard to win that division. It's hard. So until otherwise noted, I think not Buffalo, but the Ravens will finish number one. It'll be hard to beat them. I can see it happening, but I think they'll finish number one in the division. They got Lamar. They got Derrick Henry. They got a really good defense. They got a lot of pieces. The receivers are still suspect. They got Zay Flowers, but I think they can do better. They need somebody else, because you take Zay Flowers away, what else do they have? They got the tight end. He's pretty good. But so I'm gonna say Baltimore number one. Now this is where it gets tricky. Everybody's saying Cincinnati. I don't see it. So they're saying because of Burrows. They don't have a defense. They got to outscore you. They got to score like high 30s, mid 30s to beat you, because they can't stop anyone. They can't stop a soul. So, there's going to be, they do have their offense is really good. I said that in the earlier podcast. And those who watch football know that. They can see it. A lot of people say, oh, they're bums. Yeah, defensively they are, but not offensively. So if they get it going offensively, they're hard to beat. Pittsburgh got into a shootout with them last year down in Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh won 44-38. But they had to ring up points to get out of there with a win. Then they lost to them when they came to Pittsburgh, so they split with Cincinnati. For Pittsburgh's last 5 games of the year, it was bad for them. It was tough. Then you have Pittsburgh, and then you have Cleveland. But that division is so crazy. So this is what I think. I think Baltimore will win the division. I think Pittsburgh will still a game. I think the Bengals will still a game. I think Pittsburgh will finish 2. They'll finish 2 just based on them winning a game or two that they shouldn't, because you never know. They've been known to go to Baltimore and win. So that wouldn't be shocking if they won 2 games in Baltimore. It might shock some people, but I can see it because they always split with them. And then and I can see them beating Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. So Cleveland beat the Ravens last year. So never know with them. They're not that great of a team, but that division is crazy. If you pay attention to the AFC North, that division is crazy. It's just hard to get wins in that division. It's hard to sweep it. It's really hard to sweep it because the teams are so physical, and then they beat each other up. So then you have Cincinnati, and then you have Cleveland. So I think it'll be Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland. Things could change with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. And next podcast, we'll talk about the NFC, but today was the AFC, So I'm going to get off here. It's late. I just wanted to get that content in. I'll be back later this week. More than likely Thursday, unless something big happens or some giant sized news comes my way, and then I'll jump on here and talk about that. But other than that, Thursday will be my next podcast. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Make sure that you watch it on my YouTube channel, Big J's Media Content Group. That's the channel. My website is bigjsportsmedia.com, and Big J's National Sports Media Group is my like page on Facebook, in my regular Facebook, and I'll have snippets. If you noticed, I've been doing little promos with animation to promo videos. So I won't put a whole video out, a whole podcast out in animation, but I will drop maybe a 40-second clip or something just to get your interest and let you know that there's a new podcast going on. So look for that. And I think it's pretty cool too. So, I've been getting some compliments on that. So, but make sure you view it, you subscribe, subscribe, view, and subscribe, or view, like, and subscribe. Yes. So that's on my YouTube, my Facebook, both pages, and also X, formerly known as Twitter. I'll be on there. So I'm on all social media, man. LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, all those social media sites. And I got some upcoming events coming up where I'll be on location at University Academy doing a podcast outside, helping out the community they're doing a camp up there. My guy, Jerry McNeil, who I'll have on here later on this month, doing a podcast to promote his camp. It's free, but he already has his signups are full. And I mean, he's doing this off the strength for the community. He said, he told me, he said, Jay, I'm not charging nothing, man. I'm getting T-shirts for the kids. Got some good coaches, and we're going to have a good time, and teach some football to the younger kids in the community in the Kansas City area. So look for that. That's June 28th. June 28th at University Academy, 6801 Holmes on the football field. And I'll be there also. I'll be there with doing my podcast, and I'll do a on location podcast, keeping up with all the information that's going on at the camp. So other than that, everybody have a good night. Make sure you watch my podcast on all sites. You can catch it on all sites. Thank you. Good night.